Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dylan, and welcome to Dylan the Truth Podcast. If you guys are new to this channel, I would like for you guys to subscribe to it and also hit that like button. Deeply appreciate it. Now, obviously, there was a bombshell trade that happened, I believe, at midnight um, that sent James Harden to the Los Angeles Clippers. Um, I mean, there was a lot of moves, a lot of players being moved. I believe it was 7 players in total. Um, I'll start off with the Clippers. They got basically James Harden, their biggest fish from Philly. Got PJ Tucker, and then I guess Philip. I can't really pronounce his last name. Forgive me on that one. And then yeah, that's about it. Currently, they're 2-1. They're seventh in the West. I mean, it's still early, so I mean, that's for the Clippers. For the 76ers now, they got Robert Covington. They got Nicholas Batum. They got Marcus Morris. Um, they got Kenyon Martin Jr. 2028 unprotected first round pick. Second round, two second round picks. 2029 pick swap. And yeah, pick swap, and then an additional first round pick from a third team, and they're 2-1 as well, fifth in the East. What is my take on this blockbuster trade? Well, it's no surprise that James Harden got moved. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Um, there was rumblings that he was gonna go to the Clippers, um, but I felt like you know Philly could have gotten like one of the young players, maybe Man or maybe Norman Powell, but they didn't end up getting him. But they got a lot of wing players. They got a lot of three and maybe power forwards. Um, it should be a good move for Philly. As far as for the Clippers, how do I feel about the move for them? If you had told me that this, quartet with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Westbrook, and James Harden, if you had told me this from 2016, 2017, I would have said, yeah, it's over for the league. They're going to win it. They're runaway favorites. Nobody could touch them. But these guys are older. And, I mean, they're not like, in their 20s anymore. They're in their 30s. I believe Paul George is 33. Kawhi Leonard is 32. Westbrook is, I believe, 34. James Harden's like 33. James Harden's obviously not the player that he once was when he was on the Houston Rockets. I don't know how this will work. To me, I felt like they lost their strength. And I'm talking about the Clippers. The Clippers' strength was basically the wings. They had a lot of wing depth. Now it's more guards, like one and two guards. That makes them a lot smaller. So now they're at a disadvantage in terms of size. So if they go up against certain teams that are bigger teams, they're gonna have a problem because they're gonna expect a whole lot from Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to be doing a lot on the defensive end. Because when you gave up those players, they were the ones that was doing the dirty work. So I just want to see how that's going to work for the Clippers. Well, I'll go back to James Harden. James Harden, this is not his first rodeo. He's done this in the past. He did this to Houston when he wanted out. You know, I heard he whipped the ball at a teammate. He was out of shape. He just didn't care. Then they end up trading him to Brooklyn Nets for Ben Simmons. Um, yeah. So from Houston to Brooklyn, um, it it seemed like, you know what? Oh, sorry. Let me correct myself there. He got traded to Houston, from Houston to Brooklyn, and they thought like, okay, you know what? This is gonna be a stacked team with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. But obviously, a lot of things played a role on why it didn't work. James Harden got hurt; he pulled his hamstring. Kyrie Irving got hurt during the playoff series against the Milwaukee Bucks, and Kevin Durant was basically left alone. So he had to do a lot without those two guys. If they were healthy, who knows? They probably would have won the championship. Then things started to go sour with them, and then obviously James Harden did it again, and he ended up getting traded from Brooklyn Nets to Philly for Ben Simmons. So I made a mistake earlier, but he got traded for Ben Simmons. He ended up going to Philadelphia. Ben Simmons went to Brooklyn, and it was good in the beginning, and then something happened between James Harden and Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is a GM for the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden and Daryl Morey have history together. I mean, it goes back to when they were in Houston. Daryl Morey will do anything for this guy, like to make him happy. I think where there was a mixed signal is when I believe James Harden, opt in the contract. And what he ended up doing, he thought like he was gonna get traded. He was gonna get paid, but he thought he was gonna get traded to, I believe, either Miami or Los Angeles Lakers. I think that was his destination. But Daryl Morey was looking at it like he's not a max contract type player anymore. He's past his prime. And we all know that James Harden is not the same player that he was in Houston. We all know this. But he's still a capable player. He can still put up numbers. He can still facilitate. Defensively, you're not going to get much from that. He picks and chooses when he wants to defend. But he's not really a defender. That's not his forte. He's mainly a scorer. And he could be a facilitator. How is this going to work? We'll see. I mean, they'll be a little more quicker, I guess. But as far as like size, they're at a huge disadvantage. A lot of people I heard said when this trade happened that Joel Embiid is gonna leave next summer because they didn't get one of the young players from the Clippers, Man or Norman Powell. But I think what they got is pretty solid. People are just looking at the names, but you have to look at how it fits with that team and the system that they run. Because everyone's just basing it off of the big name and this and that. But is it a right fit for a certain team? We'll find out. I mean, you could say both sides won. I think I'll give the slight edge to Philly that they won this trade only because they got specialists around Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid doesn't really have to do everything on his own. So there could be guys as perimeter defenders. There's guys that could spot up and shoot threes at the power forward position. There's other guys that could, they're like a 3-and-D. You get pretty much everything else. So Joel Embiid just basically has to focus on scoring and obviously rebounding and shot blocking. He doesn't have to do too much for the team and then, burn himself out. I think he's got a really solid squad. Him, Maxey, Tobias Harris. I like that squad. As far as with the Clippers, we'll see. These guys have a history of getting hurt. The injuries is a serious thing for the Clippers. They've had a history of this. Do I expect them to win the championship and go deep? No, I do not. Because this is what the Clippers do. The Clippers are one of those teams where, okay, they make a big trade or whatnot, and it looks sexy on the paper, but then when they go and play, all hell breaks loose. Like it doesn't go their way. Something always happens with this team, whether it's due to the injuries or the fit is not right for the squad. It's always something with this team. So we'll see. It's really early. It's only 4 games into the season so far. It's a long season, and this is going to be a really interesting season. I can't wait to see how they're going to play throughout this season. And I will leave it there. I would like to thank everybody for tuning into this video. Till next time, peace.